Good evening, or wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to Australia. My name's Ross. This is Sam.
Hi.
Sam is not feeling very well today, but as ever, we are going to try our best to answer all of the questions that you have about moving to Australia, living in Australia. We've got a few questions that people have sent in to us via Instagram. So we're just going to get through it, and we'll be here for probably about the next hour answering your questions. If you have any questions, pop them in the chat, and we will get around to answering those as you ask them. Say hello. Cheer Manf up. How long have you had this cold for?
Like, this is going into the second week now.
Second week.
Like, my voice, my throat, I'm all blocked up.
Let us know if you can hear her. I hope all the settings are okay.
I'll try and help and sound.
And I sound a bit funny because I've been to the pub 2 nights in a row.
I know. Drunken.
Oh, I drove one of them, so I didn't drink that many. Responsible. Mate, we can hear her. Good.
Oh, that's good.
Good. Like, these things struggle if you can't.
I don't sound like I've smoked like 50 fags today.
It's 2025. You can't say fag.
Okay, what's cigarette?
All right. Question for start off with some of the Instagrams from Jessica. How long until you felt settled? She's a week into living in Australia and she's finding it tough. Come on, man, be honest. Have you ever really settled living into Australia?
Yeah, I think I've settled. I have settled. I haven't really, I don't know. I think because we just had so much to do when we got here and we had Aurora to deal with, I didn't have time to sit back and think and feel sorry for myself. And, you know, because I had to look after her and you had to look after us. So we just kind of got on with it, I guess.
Because we moved over in COVID, we didn't really have like much of a plan in order to settle in and relax, and there was COVID restrictions anyway. I mean, we kind of relaxed when we had 2 weeks worth of hotel quarantine, but we basically had to jump straight into living life again. And I think it was a good thing and a bad thing with regards to settling. Good in the sense that, like you say, you never really had a chance to think of anything else. But then a bad thing, because I think had we had a chance to have a bit more of like a holiday or a vacation and doing things like exploring our new place where we lived, then I think that would have helped settling. But you know, Jessica, don't worry.
But maybe is Jessica on her own? Is it just her? You know, or is she with her family? Like, we don't know, so that's hard to juggle that.
If you're on your own as well, then you're going to be on social media, talking to people in the middle of the night, and you know, missing home. That's not.
I think that will be harder. Yeah. Then I had you had me, we had Aurora. Like, we had our little family, didn't we? So we just,
even if we didn't feel settled, we still had each other. So I don't know. It's a tricky one. I'd like to think that you'd get there eventually. Everyone takes a different amount of time in order to settle in.
I'm not unsettled. Like, I don't think, oh yeah, I really need to go back to England. Like, right now, I'm not coping.
I actively don't want to go back.
So I think I am settle in. Settle in is probably the right word.
Yeah. Let me move this. This is
slowly starting to settle.
There we go. Get a little bit of our rumpus area. Sorry for looking at a bit.
You must have tidied it up.
I did try. Is that going to catch us both?
I'm sure they'll let us know if they can't hear me.
Yes, please do. Please let us know if you can't hear old Croak Box. Next one from Craig. What made you pick Brisbane as opposed to other states or cities? Why did we pick Brisbane, Manf?
I was told by you that that's the only place we could afford.
Yeah. I was given specific instructions. Good morning, Mr. Pianist. I was given specific instructions by Samantha when we moved here that under no circumstances was, hello Lynn, was moving to Australia going to be a downgrade at all. We had a 3-bedroom semi-detached in the UK. If you don't know what that is, Google it. They're not very big houses, but it is like the average UK home apparently. And yeah, I looked what our home would be able to afford us in Sydney, and that was like a 2-bedroom apartment, if that. In Melbourne at the time, it was again probably something similar to what we had. It wasn't an upgrade. And at the time, this was about 2018, 2019. It could buy a 4-bedroom house in Brisbane with a pool. So, being the 3rd largest by geographical area, I thought to myself, well, that's going to be easiest then to get a job in Brisbane. So that we picked Brisbane, and I guess we just got really lucky because from an investment perspective, then they announced the Olympics. I didn't even know they were even trying to host the Olympics. And yeah, we've just kind of capitalized there really. I don't think if we had tried to move now, we would be able to live in Brisbane so easily. God forbid we might have to look at somewhere like Perth. I mean, we did actually look at Perth.
But we hadn't been to anywhere like that, had we? Like
No.
we had been to Sydney, and we knew that we wouldn't want to live in Sydney
Yeah,
itself.
it's very, very
like,
city.
Yeah, city-ish, which we knew we didn't want. But we hadn't been to Melbourne or
No.
Adelaide or Perth, or we'd not been to any of them, had we? So
No.
we hadn't even been to Brisbane. Well, you
No, I hadn't been to
Oh,
Brisbane.
you hadn't been to Brisbane. No, so it was just potluck, really.
The only Queensland we've been to was Cairns.
Yeah.
And Port Douglas and stuff like that. So,
and that was beautiful, but I wouldn't want to live there.
Very holiday, very hot as well.
Full of crocodiles.
Yeah, no beaches. So I hope that answers you, Craig. Next one. Wow, Ailey. I want to say Ailey. Ailey Reid, just in case you're watching. I'm assuming that's an Irish name, and if I have pronounced that correctly, I'm really proud of myself. Do you miss being able to holiday in Europe?
Yes. Yeah, I definitely do. We used to go.
Absolutely, it's warmer in Brizzy.
Yeah, like we used to do maybe 2 city breaks a year.
We tried to do at least one.
A 2-weeker somewhere as well, didn't
Hey?
we?
How could we afford 2 city breaks and a holiday?
Well, what did we do then? I felt like I was always, maybe I went with a friend more than.
Well, you always just try to go away. I mean, it was a lot more accessible.
Yeah.
And you used to be able to try and go outside of holidays. When I remember when I first met you, and I was stuck to holidays. We always used to do like one European sunny holiday, and then we try and do a cooler city break.
Yeah.
And I do miss it because traveling in Australia isn't as cheap. Like, I don't want to say more value, like flights are a bit more expensive. You don't get like we never really got the $20 flights anyway, because I was always in holidays. Like, we just get stung.
Yeah. But you can't fly an hour and you're in Scotland, or you're you're in Portugal or something, aren't you? You're still in Queensland.
Yeah.
Like like it's just mental. It takes ages to get out of Australia,
but then
to go to another country.
Yeah, but then you are closer to Southeast Asia, and all right, it's still far. Like, it's not a 3 or 4 hour flight. It's still far to go, but it's closer still than if we were in the UK. I mean, I'm just glad that we did enough of Europe to not really be like, oh my god, I need to go back there. Like, would I trade a cheap holiday to one of the Mediterranean islands for what we've got here? No, because I think especially where we live in Southeast Queensland, we can drive for a few hours, like getting on a flight, and it still feels like a holiday to us anyway. Even though, yes, you don't get the massive cultural variations because you're in lots of different countries. But at the end of the day, I felt, looking back, that I wasn't doing it necessarily for the cultural experiences. I was doing it because I wanted to escape from the UK and just, get a bit of a break from reality. So would you prefer having big cultural differences? I guess if you're an Australian and you're not used to it. Yeah.
Yeah. But you always said we want to go back to Europe and do some interrailing
Yeah.
or something, didn't we? For the
I'd like to go to the
places
countries that
we haven't
yeah.
been to, but we have been to quite a lot, haven't we?
And you miss the 1 or 2 weeks all inclusive sat by a pool.
I do, and I'm going to get that back.
Yeah.
After being here nearly 5 years, and I've not had that.
And you need to sort your citizenship out.
I know.
That will be a video coming up in the very short future. Yeah. Just about made that
in the next few weeks, we've got to get that sorted because
I've done mine.
We have to go home. You haven't done it?
Well, I haven't. It's just ready to go. Press go.
Yeah, but what do you have to do? Just put your name in and push submit.
That's going to be the point of the film. We're going to film it as you go along and answer questions about citizenship. Sophie, if you could do it all again, what would you do differently? Looking to move in a few years. If I can get a visa, I have family in Brisbane, so I would love to move there. The visa is the main bit, really. All the dreams kind of don't really work if you can't get a visa. We work with a visa agency, and I was talking to them recently, and actually some of the easiest visas to grant aren't necessarily people from outside of Australia. So if you're watching this and you are in Australia at the moment, and perhaps you're not working holiday visa, or you're looking to get a sponsored visa, then speak to True Blue Migration Services straight away. All right.
Sorry.
There's a sickness. Because those are the visas that are granting like the quickest. If you're offshore, unfortunately, they're taking a little bit longer. But if you're in Australia now and you're looking for a way to stay longer or more permanently, then speak to them, mention us, get a free visa assessment. They'll be able to tell you exactly what you need to do to be able to stay here. And by mentioning us as well, you'll save $200 off the cost of your visa. So, Sophie, before the dreaming, you need to get that visa. But what would we do differently? I was talking to a guy yesterday in the pub.
Funny.
He recently moved. He's been here about a year, and we were talking about move cubes and the things that we'd sent. And I don't regret using a move cube necessarily, but I would think more cleverly about what I would have brought. So first things first, I was jealous when he said he brought loads of his winter stuff. Mate, I didn't realize how cold it is here. Australia.
I'll never forget that when you said to me when I was packing my suitcase and you were like, why have you got jeans and jumpers and socks? And I'm like, I'm quite a cold person. I get cold very easily. So
big mistake.
And Ross was like, nah, you won't need any of it. It's so hot there. Like, you just won't. And like, I'm in long trousers. I'm in hoodies. I've got a snood. Like, I've got a coat. I've got everything.
Yeah. I left a ski jacket at your dad's, and I kind of even think to myself, I used to use that to walk the dog
that blue
in the
and
morning.
White thing.
Yeah, mate, I'd have loved that
so
in the
ugly.
morning. It was warm. So I definitely would have done that. There's things that we brought that I don't really use. So I probably wouldn't have brought those.
But we did get the smallest one, didn't we?
Yes. And you do the memory things. I don't disregard bringing them. Like that was definitely worth it as well. But I would definitely think more carefully about what I should bring. And actually, do you know what? I'd love to re-watch that video because we did show what we did bring. And I think I need to react to it in the sense of
see what we've
5 years later,
still got.
Didn't need that. That would be it. Maybe would you like to see that? Let us know.
I got rid of some picture frames today that we brought over.
Oh God. See, don't need them. So there you go. Thank you, Sophie. A deuce quirt. Hi, I'm an Australian citizen. Born in Australia, but my boyfriend is a UK citizen. He thinks that by marrying me and moving to Australia would give him a better life than he has in the Yes, absolutely. I guess marrying someone is another way to easily get a visa. But yeah, like, unless, to be fair, if you've already got a good life in the UK, like, why risk that to move to the other side of the world?
We don't know how bad it is over there.
No.
But
it's different to everyone, isn't it? It's different. Some people, if you're very rich and living in the UK, then probably you do have a decent life. But I guess for me, because you don't manage the finances, you haven't got a clue.
No, I
and that's not like a domestic violence thing. Like she just can't count. We were playing darts earlier. I put up a dartboard.
You said you were quite impressed with
I was
me.
I was impressed by your ability to throw darts,
Oh,
and
wow,
sometimes
thanks.
they stuck in the dartboard.
Yeah.
But I was not impressed with your ability to count and add them
Oh
up
God,
together.
no, not mental maths. No, not a prayer. My 6-year-old will probably do better than me.
So from a financial perspective, while we lived in the UK, I felt that we were always kind of living paycheck to paycheck. We never really had an opportunity to save. God knows how I managed to save up the money for, you know, flights and a visa agent and everything to be able to get us here.
Well, you weren't working, remember, and I had to go back to work.
Oh no, this is but that was when COVID happened
Oh.
and they shut the schools.
Oh.
I'm talking about even the kind of the build up to it. I used to have to do extras as a teacher, like extra marking, and I'd kid myself to say like, oh, I'm doing it because it's, you know, paid CPD, but actually really I needed the money to be able to afford the things. You know, this one's 2 city breaks a year. So if you're feeling like that, then whilst the finances aren't loads better in Australia, like things are still tricky, things are definitely more expensive, particularly housing. But as a standard vector, we now are able to save, which is good, but we can't buy coffee.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Why did it ruin your life, G? It didn't. Sorry, mate. It was clickbait. Made you click. Asia is no comparison to Europe, isn't it? I mean, there's lots of different cultures there. It's no comparison in the sense of size. Like, you know, you've got lots more smaller countries in Europe. I'd probably say it's a bit safer. Some of the videos that I see of people now in Europe, I've never felt unsafe in Asia. Do you think or know if 75 points is still feasible for a nurse looking for a 190 visa? Seb, yes. But like I said earlier, I do know even things like nursing and teaching now, it's getting more difficult to get a grant. I believe that the focus is more on trades, in the sense of if you're a carpenter or anything to do with building, that seems to be a little bit more of the focus. Seb, if you're a nurse, you're probably, I don't want to say 2 years too late, but you know, the ability to grant was very different 2 years ago, particularly if you're a nurse kind of post-COVID. Lynn, how is the dog training going? Manf, how is the dog training going? Come on.
Oh God, we've still got the 2 dogs. They haven't got worse. They haven't got worse. Yeah, I think it's hard because we have 2 dogs.
Yeah.
So it's quite hard to focus on the training because you're having to do both of them. You know, we try and do one and then try and do another. But
and we've had dogs before, but we only ever had one dog.
Yeah.
And we got the other one to like be a mate, and they just wind each other up.
Yeah, they do. And Dennis is doing his escaping again. So he's jumping his fencing again and he's off. So just I don't think we're going to stop it. Like, I just don't.
Well, we do need to get a new like fences anyway. Our house is 20 plus years old, and they're still the original old wooden fences. And I want to upgrade them to like color bond anyway, just because it will look better. And I also think that the wood ones are a little bit easier for him to get over. I'd like to see his little claws try and dig into a color bond fence. But I reckon he'd still get over it. The little bugger.
No matter what we modify and change, he still finds ways.
He's a smart boy.
And I think they rub off on each other. Like, I feel that actually the second dog, Tony, would be calmer, and if Dennis wasn't about. Yeah. Because he winds her up, you know, and he tells her what to do and what's right, and
she winds him up back.
She winds him up back.
Because she's a stubborn cow.
She's really stubborn. Yeah, it's just also like trying to teach the kids. Like, we've been told not to do this, so don't do. It's the same with me. Yeah. Like, stop talking to them, Sam. Like, I can't help it. I'm just so used to talking to a dog.
Yeah, I've got to use more body language and stuff.
Teaching the girls that, and then having to, when people come round, don't talk to the dog, don't play with the dog, don't do that with the dog. Like, it's quite hard,
Yeah.
you know.
But he's a really good dog trainer and really good value. So if you are also struggling in North Brisbane with a dog and you want some training, message us on Instagram and I'll ping you his details. Dog Training 101.
101, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so this geezer earns £400 a week, earning minimum wage. Do you know what I'd actually advise if he wants to move to Australia? Get a trade and get your training and stuff done now, because you'll turn that £400 a week into be able to do that in a few days. Esther, advice for people on arrival to Australia. I'm arriving in Brisbane in September and need all the advice I can get. Number one, you can buy SIM cards straight away in the airport. We couldn't do that. We struggled with the phone and getting it all transferred over.
No, because we got marched across.
Yeah, I know.
We weren't allowed to do anything.
We got military escorted out. Definitely get one straight away. Just so that you have a phone to be able to use. My biggest one actually is finances. And this is the bit that people kind of always keep asking me, because again, we didn't have a bank account set up. You can set some of them up. Combank, I believe, is one that you can set up from abroad. We didn't use that one, but you still have to kind of, I think, go into a bank and get all your card and your details. And we use a service called Wise. There are other ones available out there as well, but we've just always used Wise because it's kind of easy and the best one, and you don't have to pay to like have the card. And essentially, it's you can manage all of your finances on your phone through a little app. You can transfer money to and from your regular bank account, and the money can sit in your Wise account. And I'll put on the description of this afterwards, I'll put a link because we use it. And if you use that link, you'll get a free card for your Wise account. I think there's like you get your first $1,000 transferred over for free as well, even though the fees are like some of the lowest ones anyway. So that's not it. But the point is, you get this free card, and you can use that card pretty much. There's a list of, I don't know, 20 plus countries that you can use it in. The UK and Australia, obviously big ones. I used it when I went to the Philippines. You used it when you went back to the UK to visit people, and you just load your money onto there and you can pay for things instantly. You don't even have to get the money transferred over. You just have the money sitting in the account in whatever currency you changed it into, and it will transfer it at the exact exchange rate at the time. And you won't really beat the exchange rates. You definitely won't beat how easy it is to use. So again, for us, when we came over, didn't have a phone, couldn't pay for anything. We were stuck in hotel quarantine, and everyone was like, "Oh, just get a Woolies order sent in. You can get all the little luxuries." And then we were like, "How? We can't call anyone. We can't." So in the end, I had a friend, actually. I think I Facebook messaged him. Bless him. He drove into the city just to bring us a little. It was basically a 6-pack of beers, but he saved our lives. That's definitely what I would do. But
didn't we have that issue when we got out as well with ANZ, and they wouldn't give us the card?
Yeah, because we didn't have
an
address and the ID sorted out. We had an Airbnb when we first came out, so we had no permanent things. Mate, it was just a pain in the ass.
It was stressful, wasn't it?
You want to be able to speak to people. You want to be able to pay for things, sort them out, and the rest is relatively easy. Someone retracted a message. Cheers, Shane. He hopes you get better, man. Do you enjoy the outdoor lifestyle? The kiddos seem to love it so much. I do, personally. That's probably one of the main reasons why we wanted to move to Australia anyway. When we visited, well, this was been about 2 years before we moved, maybe 3. We visited Sydney, we visited Cairns. I'd been before that as well, and it was just my opportunity to show Sam the outdoor lifestyle. Even the things like when we were up in Cairns and you could see the lagoon and all the swimming areas, and now we realise it's because you can't swim in the sea because of Crocs. But the fact that they've got them all there we've got, South Bank, they've got the lagoon there, Redcliffe, there's another one as well. Like the country is geared up for that kind of lifestyle. And even now that we've got a caravan, and that's not necessarily the ideal thing for you, but it's got aircon and a toilet. you don't.
And a really nice bed.
Yeah,
Like, I
that
do
you
take
actually
my
prefer
hat
that
off.
bed.
I actually like that bed more than my own bed. Like, it's comfy. It's really, but it's, excuse me, but it's still camping. It's still getting in
Luxury
and out of this
glamping.
bloody van and up and down and, you know, trying to keep everything contained in its own little space. And it's still hard work. I find it hard work. You
Yeah.
don't, but
No, I'd like to think I'm a little bit more organised, but
well, yeah.
but we do get to see. I love it because we get to see a lot more of Australia, even local Australia to us. You know, you don't have to go very far, and all of a sudden the scenery kind of starts changing. And do you know what? Every time I see my kids outside just enjoying being a kid, like they're 6 and 2, I love it because I just kind of think to myself, no, I don't want you on a screen. I don't want you watching telly. We were watching her playing on the monkey bars. We've got a set of monkey bars in the garden, and she was just out there on her own, just swinging around, climbing stuff. And I just thought, would she have that same kind of lifestyle? Would she have that same kind of childhood growing up in the UK? And I'm not convinced.
No, that, you know, we walk to school and we walk back, and all the little alleyways are all really nice and it's clean, and like it's really nice to be outside. Like, there's just so much here, isn't there? Like, sometimes I'd get a bit scared, like back in the UK, going down the back alley, like behind our house, where I had to, even though I had the dog, like if I had to do it in the dark or whatever, I'd be shit scared, you know. But around here, not so much. Like, I just,
It helps that it's a lot more open as well.
Yeah.
Everything isn't so penned in.
Yeah. And there's loads of parks, isn't there? And nice walks, and you know, if you want to walk down by the beach, it's like 20 minutes down to, you know, like Deception Bay, isn't it? And then if you want to go to Redcliffe, it's like half an hour, and you can do a really nice walk along the peninsula. And the girls love it. They love going out and go, like, they're happy just to go to the beach for the day, aren't they? Or go to the park, or
They don't ask for a lot.
no, they don't. No, they're really good kids. Yeah, it's nice.
Okay.
How do you keep up with all of this? I can't even see it.
Sam, are you friends with Rob Reacts? Oh, I wouldn't say we're friends, but we have met him before. Lovely bloke.
Who?
He was the guy we went to meet in the city, and then we saw a few other people. We met at one of the English pubs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, when we sat on that table, it was
Yeah.
all very formal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if we organise meetups, we're not going to do them necessarily so formal.
No.
My wife and I are moving to Perth, coming over on a partner visa. We went through True Blue. Thanks for your channel.
Yay.
Wonderful. I hope you did it early enough that you also got the $200 off. That's a relatively new perk because we've been working with them for so long. I don't know many other weirdos that make videos on YouTube that are going to save you $200 off the cost of your visa. Been following you guys for a while. We moved over in September to Sydney with our 2.5 and a 1-year-old and a golden retriever.
Oh,
I mean, can't wait for the flight. So you flew back to the UK on your own with, what was Sierra? 1? And Aurora would have been 4.5.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you did that.
And I did it on my own. I don't know how I did it either, but I did it. I couldn't do it now. No. I could do it with Aurora now. I couldn't do it with Sierra.
Yeah.
Not a prayer.
Yeah. Enjoy that 2.5-year-old. Bring lots of snacks and train them to be able to sleep on command. That's about the only advice that I could say.
What do they say? Antihistamines to help calm them, relax them, get the drowsy ones. It didn't really work with my girls.
When we flew here, thank God it was, well, not thank God it was COVID, but like, thank God the flight only had 30 people on it so that Aurora could run around. She was up for 21 hours.
Yeah, that was hard.
We timed it. It was even maybe 24 hours from when she had last gone to sleep until she finally passed out on the flight.
Yeah.
We just gave up. Even the flight attendant was like, "Excuse me, can you look after your kid?" I was like, "There's no one here, mate. She can't go anywhere." And then we found her asleep underneath our chairs. So She passed out
Yeah, that
eventually.
flight is hard.
MD stocks. Love your content. Me and the wife are looking to move over from the UK. Good office jobs. Which city do you feel is the best for office opportunities? Thinking Melbourne initially. To be honest, all of the big capital cities
No,
have
Melbourne.
enough office jobs.
Yeah.
And enough remote working, officey related jobs. I wouldn't. I would look on Seek, just to
Yeah.
be specific and try and find which opportunities you think you would be best available to. I mean, if you're moving quite soon, then consider applying for some. But yeah, that was one of the things that I did later when I realized that Brisbane was the place that we could afford. Then I started looking for teaching jobs, and I just took the view that there seemed to be a few available that I could or look to apply for. So yeah, it's not exactly going to be too difficult. And I've never really struggled getting a job here. You've never really struggled getting a job here. So have a look on Seek and see if there's anything specific to what you do in an office. Tebow, yep, he backs Wise, another happy Wiser, if that's a thing. How easy and quick is the process of setting up a tax number? There's AJ, there's a reason why I've never done a tax file number video, and that's literally because you just go on the online and you just fill in your details and it's done within 10 minutes. Like you don't need someone to hold your hand through that. Esther, thank you. Matthew Morris, is it easy to get some sort of streaming service that provides British TV? Yes. There are lots of people that provide what you'd call the dodgy stick. And you probably use things like Facebook sometimes. It seems to me it's not even what you know, it's probably more of a who you know. We don't have one though.
Yeah, and
we don't watch enough TV.
Yeah, but I don't watch telly because we don't have one. Because the telly's so shit here. Honest to God, it is so bad. You will miss UK telly. I'm telling you now.
I don't miss sitting on my arse watching telly, though.
I miss watching my soaps. I miss watching Holby and Casualty and.
Imagine the total amount of time.
Chase. They do have the Chase.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. But imagine the total amount of time we used to sit watching The Box in the UK.
I know, but like on my days off, like. You know,
we do watch Love Island though. That's on Channel 9 here,
yeah.
and that's just on the streaming service. So there are some bits that you can watch, but yeah, like EastEnders and stuff.
Isn't it that BritBox thing? Is that a thing that people have here?
I always thought that was, it never really had everything that we would like to watch. And that's the problem, I think, with some of this paid for streaming services, even though the dodgy box you do pay for.
Midsummer's Murders and all that kind of stuff on there, which we didn't really watch.
You never really get one that seems to have everything. And they do, it's like they do that on purpose. So you have to buy lots of different ones. Yes, Matthew, you can get them. Some people swear by them. Us, not necessarily so much. Aussie TV is the pits, don't buy it. Yeah, no, I agree. Sam, yeah, no, you can get BritBox. Don't encourage her. She'll bloody be on it.
Oh, can I have it?
Well, have a look.
I'll have a look.
Right. Having a look at some of these ones. Kaylee, did you move over with much money or did you just go for it? I would go as far as to say we didn't have that much disposable income. I think we just about, with like whatever savings and stuff that we have left, I always remember we brought over $10,000 in cash. We got it. This is even before I kind of used Wise. I got it traded up at I can't even remember what the online TravelX was that I used, but it was one of the ones where they send you the cash, and we got 10 grand because 2 reasons. That's basically all I could afford, as well as they don't let you come in with any more than 10 grand in cash. Like otherwise you have to declare it. But there would have been 3 of us anyway, so it's 10 grand each, so it wouldn't have been a problem. But But yeah, that's all we had.
£30,000. Who's going to come in with 30
Well,
grand?
who's going to have
Gosh.
30 grand? And the other thing was that did help us though. So we also sold our house in the UK when we moved. So we did have that, but obviously you don't want to eat into that as much as possible because you're going to need that. So then buy whatever property you've got next. So it was a bit of a buffer. It did help with, you
And
know,
the cars
emergencies.
as well.
Yeah.
Sold the cars.
Yeah. We sold everything.
Yeah.
So no, we didn't move over with loads of money. But we did obviously have the sale of our house, which kind of helped. Sam asks, did you find it cold going back to the UK?
No. I was really shocked because I went, when did I go? October time?
I thought you were going to freeze.
Yeah, I know. You were worried, weren't you? I was going to get so cold. But no, I actually really enjoyed the weather. We went out for the day and, every other day we went out and, I'd have a hoodie on. Sometimes I even took my hoodie off. Like, it was nice. It was really good weather. And it was actually nice to not be sweating, like in the sun.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like
You don't
struggling.
like that too hot sweating.
No, I can't deal with it. So no, I loved the weather when I went back. But I like the different seasons, and I don't really get that much here. We get like a winter and a summer, don't we?
You also, every time I saw a photo of you in the UK, you're always dressed for the weather as well. Like you did wrap up.
Oh yeah.
You had, and you still had the clothes that we left, because this is a question that Matthew's asked us. He probably didn't tune in too early. Matthew, you naughty boy. Yeah. Would you bring big woolly jumpers, winter jackets, slippers? Yeah. If you've got space to bring it here, even about moving to Brisbane, definitely bring it. Although I would say only bring like the nice stuff. So if you've got like a cheap, crappy one,
if it's Primark,
you can just get one from Kmart. Mate. It's fine. But if you've got like a really nice, good quality wintry thing that you want to keep, yeah, absolutely keep it. Joe, all the Australian free-to-air TV stations are available online. Yep, that's literally how we do it. That even Aurora, she just streams it in her room. She got a TV the other day. We got it free, so I was like, why not?
A 6-year-old with a telly. I just can't.
She barely watches it.
She sat in her bed this morning.
Oh no, she did.
Hours.
She did because we were doing jobs. Yeah, and we were doing jobs this morning. I was doing some lights, and I wasn't putting them up because it's illegal. You're not allowed to do that. But we had those outdoory. I'll take a picture and put it on Instagram. Those outdoory nice hanging lights that you plug in, but they've got to be like all strung up. It took freaking ages, and then you whinge that I hadn't done it right.
Yeah, they're not symmetrical. We're going to have to redo.
Well, they're not symmetrical because you can't. You only get a certain amount of lights.
But some are doubled and some aren't.
Yeah, because I can't decide. Silly. The lights weren't designed for the
thing. You should have just waited for me rather than rushing to get it done.
I had a moment where I just wanted to do things, and you were still like,
why didn't you do something else?
Because it was a half-finished job, and I couldn't let the dogs out because they'd chew the wires. True point. We know that they actually chew wires. They chewed through a pool pump wire.
Well, that's Tony though. It's not Dennis.
She's a bugger.
Dennis doesn't chew through stuff.
I live in the Netherlands, and I'm really used to cycling to work. Do a lot of companies have bicycle racks for their employees? Don't know, because I don't cycle. Yeah. However, knowing about like cycling is still a thing. There are lots of good in Brisbane anyway. There are lots of good cycle paths. I love the one that goes from like Hamilton all the way along the river into the city. I did that once when I did the Bridge to Brisbane run, and then we had to get like a lime scootery thing back. So we used the cycle paths, and there you go. You shouldn't use a phone while on a scooter. But I was like, I need to video this, and I nearly crashed. So you definitely don't use one. But it's just such a nice view. There's loads of cycle paths around here. The roads are wide enough that they've got cycle lanes and stuff in them. The only difference is, I guess, the distances. For me to cycle to work, it's like 16 k's, and I'm too lazy. So
that's quite far.
Yeah. So there are loads. If you're in the city and you want to cycle to work, it's very easy to do that. Someone else is saying bring winter clothes, particularly in the southern states. Yes, I would second that. Do you know what? We went to Melbourne in the summer. Why is there not a video, Ross? That's because I don't know. I've lost all the files, so we'll have to go again. I'm sorry, but I was cold in Melbourne, standing in the sunshine in summer.
Yeah,
So
it was.
God knows what it's like
cold.
in the bloody winter. Would a holiday visa allow my partner to come with me? Michael, it depends. Working holiday visas are granted individually. You have to get your own one. So if she or they are able to get a working holiday visa, then yeah, you have to get your own ones. Sophie, what is the work culture like generally? Here I feel like I live to work, but I'd love to work to live and have a balance, be more social. Yeah.
You'll get that here.
From a teaching perspective, whilst we still have all the same problems with teaching, actually in Queensland, all the state teachers are striking on Wednesday because they want even more pay and better conditions. I find as a teacher here that I definitely work to live rather than live to work. I think generally the culture is better for that. You always still get your teachers or people in any profession that really, really want to work hard. I don't think it's fair to say that everyone's a lazy bludger. But yeah, in general, the system seems to be set up better that, you're not work to the bone and you can enjoy your life a little bit more. What about for you? You work in disability support, which isn't something that you did in the UK specifically.
No. I guess because I pick my own kind of hours, there's a lot of, a lot of people need support early mornings, later in the evening, getting out of bed, going to bed. I don't really do that. I just do the community access, so just during the day, which is nice. So yeah, because I'm a casual worker, and I have like a roster that's done kind of every 1 to 2 weeks. Like it's not done. A lot of companies do it like 6 months in advance. Yeah, that's quite normal.
Wow.
But my company don't do it like that. But it's good because of the flexibility that I have with it. It just works. Yeah, I can say yes or no if I'm available, not available, block it off if I don't want to work. If I want a day off and be a slum and try and watch an English TV, then I can do that if I want,
I think as well, because particularly if you work in a job that is in demand, it's not a buyer's, a worker's market. Like there's not that many people that work in certain sectors. So especially like teaching, especially disability support, they're in demand. You can't be too hard on employees because they'll leave and then you won't have anyone else to do the job anyway. Zeus, oh, this is a loaded question. What's your opinion about international students in Australia? What do you want me to say? I think that international students in Australia are a necessity. They pay a lot of international fees that allow Australians or people that live here to have a reduced fee on what they need to pay. I also feel that if people from abroad want to move to any country to study, and they're able to pay the extra fees in order to do it, then why not? But also, from my own experience of what it's like to have to move to another country and get a visa and how difficult it is, I came here and I do a job that people don't want to do. I fulfill a role in Australian society. So does Sam. And I think that if you're coming here to just essentially want to pay to be a student and then think that that's enough to, stay here, then I don't think that that's right. If you want to pay to stay in any country, well, yeah, don't they have like certain visas for that where you have to pay loads of money? And fair enough, yeah. If you're rich and you're willing to part with the money, then I'd take your money as well just to give you a visa or a passport. But not if you're just trying to do it the really, really cheap way. It's like the half-ass thing, isn't it? You want everything, but you're not prepared to give for it. No, you don't deserve to stay. Esther, is it possible to get around with only public transport, and what is the process of yes, public transport in Brisbane in particular is really good, but only for some bits. So for example, even from like where we live, one piece of advice that I would give to everyone, particularly if you want to live in Brisbane, is move to a suburb that has a train station. But then, so getting from the train into the city, like door to door, for me, it takes an hour. But that means that I'm driving to the station and parking there for free. But if you're having to use public transport, then that bus is every 30 minutes. It takes best part of 30 minutes to get there. Like, it's not as good as the actual train service. So yes, you can get around with public transport. Yes, the public transport in certain routes and certain bits is very good. But if you're living in the bit that it isn't very good in, then nah, it's not. But that's because the country's so bloody big and the places are so big, they couldn't provide the same level of service all the way around. I hear it's better in Sydney. When I look at the news in Australia, it's non-stop stabbings, robberies, shootings. Is crime a problem in Brisbane, like house burglaries? I think technically, if you look at the statistics, crime is actually dropping in Brisbane. But that's not something that they necessarily talk about in the news. I think in Australia, sometimes they definitely go with the "if it bleeds, it leads" kind of tagline. And one of the things that I think about here in comparison to the UK is that yes, some crimes like stabbings or shootings are reported more in the news, and you kind of get a little bit scared by that. But then when you look at the statistics of how frequently it happens, it's nowhere near as frequently as like in the UK, particularly like in London. So what, they just didn't report it?
Whenever I look at the news, it's always about a shark.
Yeah, or a shark.
A shark
But
or a house on fire.
and that's the same thing. Even shark
Like-
attacks, you look at the statistics and it's like you're more likely to get hit by a car crossing the road. And no one really reports about that.
Yeah, I think the news is pretty good here.
I think they just over sensualize it, really.
Yeah.
Gives them something to talk about because they've got nothing else to talk about. As someone looking to come out on a permanent visa,
Oh my god!
is there any implications in buying a property as soon as possible? Are you best waiting until so number one, if you don't have permanent residency, you can't buy property in Australia. They've frozen it for I think the next 2 years. That started from April. That was an effort to try and reduce the impact on housing. So unless you're on a PR, you can't do that. But with the way that prices are going, it's not time to the market, it's time in the market. That's one of the sayings that one of my friends, Ben, who's a mortgage advisor, says. And so if you're able to buy a property, I'd say that it's probably best to try and buy one as soon as possible rather than waiting. If any of you get a house here in Oz, you have spare rooms, you can hire out a room to international students. We had a lodger in the UK, if that's something you want to do. We had to do it just for the money, really. That was nice, getting a little extra bit of rent. As a special education teacher in a primary setting in Belgium, is there... And they don't finish the question. Okay. Matthew, what about going out for the night for a drink? Looks quite difficult to get home with limited transport. Do a lot of people take an Uber or just drive and not drink? I think a lot of people also drive and drink, and that's why there are RBTs. That's naughty. Not the RBTs, like definitely have them. I think lots of people do drive and not drink. The concept of a designated driver is not a bad one. I think when we go out with friends and stuff, one of us doesn't drink and the rest are able to drive with them. I had to think about saying that. And I go into the city and I'll get the train in, and then
you'll drive to the station, won't you?
Yeah.
You normally put your scooter in the car.
No, don't tell them this. This is naughty.
Oh. Well, that's what you do. You go into the city.
I don't.
And then you scooter home.
I don't scooter drunk at all. Never done that. But you can't. You did it. You got. You got on the train and then you came back in an Uber.
Yeah.
Lots of people do that. You
Yeah.
chucked up in your coat and everywhere, and thankfully caught it all in your coat,
On
so
the
you didn't get
train
fined by
as
the Uber.
well. Oh my god.
That was a sight to behold.
Mm.
I went down to the Eaton's Hill Hotel the other week, and I got an Uber back. It was $80, but
Mm.
we did. I split it with a mate because we dropped him home first. Lots of people do. They just factor it in, pay the money, or you don't go. Really, lots of people. I think houses are bigger to be able to accommodate more gatherings, and I think we're just at a time of our lives where we don't really need to go out as much now, or if we do, we're going out for the experience that we're going out for, rather than just to try and get drunk.
And a lot of people just do family stuff, don't they? Like that, yeah, come and drink, but it's
just have
bring the
just have
family.
one or two.
Because everyone else has got kids. So
Yeah. What is the process of transferring a UK license to an Australian driver? There is a video, like a very old video of me doing that. You literally go into the Transport and Main Roads and you get a ticket and you show them the stuff and then you buy a new license. They transfer it over. It's very easy.
I think mine expires this year.
Yeah, no, mine does as well. Then you've got the
Wow.
5-year one. And then finally we'll be able to have the date. I always still say our original address where we first moved into. Not our new current address. And when you change, they don't reissue you with
No.
another one. They just give you a
A
sticker.
little stupid sticker.
And my sticker's rubbed off.
It rubs off, yeah.
It's pointless. My worst experience so far is having to live in a shared house. Yep, I lived in a shared house before I met Manf. I actually rate that as one of the best times of my life. I loved it. There's like 8 of us.
Because you're up to no good, that's why. And you could do whatever you want.
I was in my early 20s. As a special education teacher in a primary school from Belgium, do they have special education schools separate? Yes, they do. Actually, over the road from where I work, there is a special education school. They're not as frequent. You probably have one, I'd say, like as often as there are hospitals or like health centers. That's the frequency of also having a special education school. So it's not like you have one in every other suburb like a regular school. There may be like 3 to 1.
But they're big schools, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're quite big.
Most of the secondary schools, particularly here, they're like 2,000 kids. Even primary schools are over 1,000. I
can hear jingle jingle.
Yep. Thank you, Sam, for answering some of the questions. September seems to be a good time to visit. Yeah. Starting to warm up. Although, if you're looking to move to Southeast Queensland, September is also quite windy. Heather, what sports do you have your kids learning? This is a good one because you do all the sports.
Yeah, we're going through that at the minute. So lovely Aurora is not very sporty. She doesn't like sport. She's just like her mother. She can't do sport, just like her mother. So at the minute, we're actually trialing different ones because over here they have this system called Fair Play vouchers, and they're issued, I think it's every year or every 6 months. And every child gets given $200 towards a sport.
Yeah, it's loads.
Which is really good. So instead of like signing up and, saying that you want to do that sport for a whole year, it's a good way to trial it out, use up that money. And at the end, if you like it, great, we can carry on. If not, we'll try and find something else.
And they do them a couple of times a year because she's still on her first set of 200, and hasn't she? There's like a new one coming out next month.
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
tomorrow the next one comes out. So Aurora's currently doing cheerleading at the moment. Before that, she was doing gymnastics, which she liked, but she wasn't really getting anywhere with it.
That's why we bought the monkey bars, because it just seemed like she liked climbing on all the kit.
Yeah. So, and then we went and trialed some baseball the other day, didn't we, with her? And she was actually not too bad at that.
She swings the bat pretty hard. I was quite impressed.
yeah, so we're and she does swimming lessons as well, which has been consistent.
That's probably
She's
been the
done
most
that.
consistent one, yeah.
Yeah, because I think if you're going to live here, every kid needs to know how to swim.
Yeah.
Because you know, every other house or every few houses will have a pool. So obviously
Being by the
everyone
beach
spends
and
time at the beach. So I do believe that, yeah, all kids need to learn how to swim. Sierra, on the other hand, has taken a little break for kind of 3-4 months because she was playing up. And I was not paying, you know, to be sitting in the pool on my own while she's running around.
But Aurora did the same, didn't she?
Yeah.
And we said we're going to have a little bit of a break
Yeah.
and wait until the summer, and then we'll just kind of start to teach her again in our own pool.
Yeah.
And then like something switched, and she's like, "Oh, I now understand the value of why I need to do a little bit more of a structured lesson, so I'm not just kind of paddling around trying to not to drown." But yeah, it was probably an age thing. Some kids are more switched on.
But there's so many sports out here for kids, for anyone, for adults as well. Like, it's a real sporty place, isn't it? And they encourage it. She's always getting stuff sent home for tennis and cricket and dance, and you know, they're very good at keeping all the kids very physical, aren't they?
And even with like answering the questions about the active lifestyle, like earlier, they are just so active that they can just pick up anything and put it down if they're not really into it. I even think to myself, I never really did much structured sport until I was, you know, maybe 10 older, like when I went to secondary school. So I'm not too worried if she doesn't want to do any kind of structured sport yet, or if she's not really, you know, paying attention or getting much out of it.
She's still so young. She's only 6.
She just likes to be there with her friends and stuff. So if we can still provide the active nature that those sports are going to provide, and I don't mind doing it with her. Like, I enjoy taking her out and doing bits, going on a bike and stuff. So there's so much out there.
Yeah.
Is the salary really so good? Chicken burger. There you go. Well, I'm going to look up.
What's chicken burger?
That's the name of the person.
Oh.
UK teacher salary. Right. Now, this obviously isn't for everyone. Is your pay better, Manf?
I got a slight increase.
No, is in comparison to the UK?
Oh, yeah. I spoke to my friend the other day who's a nurse, kind of like a nurse, kind of midwifey kind of person. And she was, she couldn't believe, and I told her what my hourly wage was as a support worker.
Which is what? Go on, let people know.
43, I think.
$43 an hour?
That's just like between the hours of like 8 and 6, I think. And then the evening it's more, and then weekends it's more, public holidays it's more. I can earn up to like over $100 an hour on a public holiday.
Yeah, but there's a reason why not many people do them.
Yeah.
So I just looked up pay scales for the UK, and just as a standard teacher, which is what I am now, the pay starting from next year is £51,000, which seems like loads in comparison to what it was like when I left. So what is it, like $2 to the pound? So let's just call that just over $100,000 here. The equivalent, if you wanted to teach in Queensland, and bearing in mind each of the different states and territories, they pay their teachers slightly differently, but it would probably be like an experienced senior teacher, might be a little bit more. That pay is $121,000 to $123,000. So realistically, it's about 20% more. I think it was even more when we first moved out here, and obviously that's become a little bit less because of the exchange rates. And also I think that the UK teachers' pay kind of bumped up a little bit. I remember before we moved, I went for a number of years where the pay just didn't seem to be rising at all. So they've kind of caught up a little bit, but there you go. 20% more plus is the answer to that one.
You always say you feel like you've got more money here and you can save more and compared to back in the UK.
Yeah. Harriet, what were your experiences with meeting new friends? Positive, really. I don't find it difficult to meet new people.
Yeah.
I think by doing this, like I meet people that follow us
Yeah.
on YouTube and watch us on YouTube. If you're ever in North Brisbane and you don't have many friends or you're new here, definitely
Yeah.
meet up. I think the whole process of moving to another country is quite liberating, and it helps you to see yourself differently as a person. You have to be quite out there. You have to be quite outgoing. You have to be quite positive. And I think
Mm.
that if people have moved, you've done the hard work of moving here, like getting you, your family, everything. Oh, what's that on
Oh,
there? Oh, the camera's dead.
what? Oh no.
Never plugged it in.
Well, that's not very helpful, is it?
Hang on, I'm gonna switch cameras. How do I do that? Da, 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 da.
You haven't got another camera. Where's the other one?
Thanks, Lynn, for confirming that you can still hear us. So I've just found out that I stupidly didn't plug the camera in. We're using the fancy camera, so I might have to switch to the webcam. There you go.
Woohoo!
Let's see how long that lasts for. Right, because we've been on for an hour anyway, we're just going to pick the last few questions. Meeting new friends. Yes, because you've done the hard work of moving here,
Yeah.
just continue being the positive person that you'd need to be, and that will reflect in how you meet new people. Like Australians are so nice. You still find positive expats that move here, other people from other different countries. Like if you can't meet new people, maybe it's you. Ross, what's the best broadband provider in Australia for speed? Don't know. Depends on each of the different areas. NBN can be shocking. I'm with Optus because those were the people that provided the Premier League. But now you get that on Stan. So I've now got a thing with Stan, and I guess I might leave Optus, but we shall see. Do you get a lot of spiders inside the house? Was a question on Instagram.
Not really.
I can't remember the last time we saw one.
No, I can't remember the last time I saw. I just never forget that bloody great big fucker of a spider. You know
I
that
don't swear.
that big massive thing in
The
the
huntsman.
laundry. Oh my god, that was huge.
They're fast. They're not venomous.
No.
So don't worry about them too much. But I genuinely just keep all the screen doors shut, mate, and you'll be fine. If you want to keep all the doors and stuff open.
Cockroaches. I see a lot of cockroaches.
Yeah.
And they're horrible. They're not nice either, especially when they jump out of you and you open a drawer or something. But we found quite a few dead ones recently, so our termite barrier thing is working.
No, that's for termites.
Not the spray. What's it called? The spray that they do. I don't know.
Yeah, pest spray and stuff.
Yeah,
like
the
that.
pest spray.
Just looking at the last few questions that we've got here. I think we've answered most of the types of questions. We had some camping questions recently. We were supposed to go camping this weekend, but we didn't go because obviously everyone's crook. So there will be a little bit of a delay on showing you all our camping setup and everything on that video, but it will happen soon. It will be on the next time we go camping, which should be soon.
Well, we were going with our friends as well, and the dad was really sick as well. He had been unwell, hadn't he? So he was quite happy when I said that I wasn't feeling great, and the girls are coughing as well. It's just the time of year, so there's no point going out in the cold and struggling and not being in your own home when you don't feel great. So yeah.
Mate, someone says the West is flying cockroaches. See what, the day that they start flying at me.
They're horrible things. They're so ugly.
How is your house in the winter?
Cold.
Yeah, cold. Although that whole idea that, yes, it does get hot in the summer because of obviously the warm air rising. That does help it a little bit. But it's still cold.
It's cold. And I've got a really tight husband who won't put the...
I will put the heating on, just not the reverse cycle aircon. That's not what it's designed for.
Well, you
mate.
put
It's
candles
so expensive.
on.
That's a little heat. I want to get a fireplace. I really want to get a fireplace.
But yeah, it gets... Because the house is quite spacious and because it's 2 levels as well, like it's... Yeah, it does get really cold. We don't have like... A lot of people here seem to have a summer and a winter duvet.
Yes.
Like we don't. We just have the one.
We've got a weighted blanket though. That's our winter one.
That we put over the top, and then we have a sheet in the summer rather than a duvet, don't we?
Yeah. Blackfoot, you just put on there that, sorry, we didn't answer the other bit of your question. How do you receive your other funds in Australia? Like I said, Wise. If you need to transfer any money between different bank accounts, you need to transfer it over from your old bank account. Use Wise. We talked about it earlier in the video. Have a little look, and I'll put a link to how you can get a free card that you can use it straight away at the bottom of this when we're done. Have we encountered any more snakes? No.
Nope.
Not since the hot tub
Gerald.
one. No. That was a big boy.
Oh, he was huge.
Due to the job market, looking at Perth. Right, this is the last one, and then we're going to go. Why do I not like Perth? Do you know what? We've never been. Never been. It will be a place that we'll go to eventually. Of course it will. I want to go and look at the quokkas in Rottnest Island. But one of the things that I found with people's opinions and social media, and also it's a little bit on myself as well, because now I've lived in Brisbane for 5 years. I was talking about this the other day. I love watching The Origin. I'm a proud Queenslander, even though I wasn't born here. This is just the place that I chose to settle. I guess I'm a chosen Queenslander.
Chosen Queenslander.
But if someone ever wants to like say bad things about Brisbane or take the piss, I don't get too on my high horse. I don't know why, but when I do the same about Perth, it's like I've just called their mother a whore. Like they get so protective, and it seems to be just Perth. Like, New South Wales, people from there, like they can take a joke. Like Melbourne, I don't know why you'd want to try and defend that place at all. Sometimes, they can take a little bit of stick. Adelaide, well, who really wants to move to Adelaide anyways? It's so small. They seem to be able to also take a joke. People from Perth, it's like you've personally attacked them. And I find that hilarious. So I will continue to do that. And I thank all of you who understand how I think and my sick sense of humor and the fact that I do just kind of take the piss. But that's why. And do you know what? Because
boring, can you?
Yeah, it's that whole like tall poppy syndrome. It's the Australian mentality. You've got to take the piss out of people. And I guess I'm just trying to help prepare them and you for a lifetime of Aussies taking the piss. And if you can't cope with it, then don't watch. Yeah. go find some other weirdo to watch videos about YouTube. The great emigrate. Hope you well, mate. You need to organise that golf on the south side. I'm still waiting.
What?
Yeah, that's the guy I played golf with. Poor Tassie, used to being forgotten. Yeah. I will go there.
I'd like to go to Tas.
And I'd like to go in the winter just because you like the coldness. And I think that type of landscape.
Cold.
Maybe we'll do both. Bring back the struggle to complete food challenges. What, like when I used to go to places and eat? Mate, all right, fair enough. I'll do a Macca's one. They've got some weird stuff in Macca's at the moment. Right. If not Brisbane, where else would you live?
never really thought about it, really. Like, as in Australia or as in anywhere in the world?
Well,
I
both.
don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I never really thought about it because I never thought I'd leave the UK. Like, if it wasn't for Ross, I wouldn't be here. Like, I'd still be probably in my dad's house. Right.
I'm just trying to think of any. I'd obviously move somewhere cheaper
Mm.
for the same level of lifestyle that we get here.
Yeah.
If you know of one, please let me know. I don't
not
think
the
that
USA.
exists. No. My sense of humor does not go down well with Americans.
No.
Awesome. Thank you very much for all of your questions. If you need to know about how to transfer your money, I'm going to put a Wise link down below. If you are looking at moving to Australia, or you're currently in Australia and you need some help and advice with visas and what to do next, then speak to True Blue Migration Services. Mention us and you'll get a free visa assessment. They'll be able to tell you exactly what it is that you need to do to either get here or to stay here. And because you've mentioned us, you'll also go on to save $200 off the cost of your visa. And you know, we all live in tough times where every dollar counts. $200, that'll buy you a fair few slabs and a bottle of something nice in order to celebrate. Thank you for watching. I hope it's been helpful. And if you do need more help, message me on Instagram at Johnston Life, and I'll be sure to message back. And we're going to organise some meetups.
Yeah.
Hold us to it.
I think, yeah, that would be a really good idea. Yeah.
Hold us to it. And hopefully, if you've liked it, let us know. If you like the new style of our videos with more of Sam, hopefully not being so crook, let us know as well. We love hearing from you. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. See you soon.
See you. Bye.